Hello air signs, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect. This is your reading for the week, the first week in October. So we have Aquarius, Libra and Gemini, and male and female clarifiers. The main messages, and this is what it sort of is all coming back to probably by the end of the week, is the butterfly ferrets. I am reborn. This is an excellent card. The butterfly is the ultimate symbol of transformation. The ferret is mistrusting and alert and repels those who would do her harm. This strange combination will see you safely at this time of vulnerability and new powers. For while you are reborn, you must have protection and will ensure you are safe in the moment of highest danger. The butterfly is the symbol of the changing self, who somehow is the very same creature it was before. It dwells in one form, enters a time of stillness, and then emerges. The butterfly's transformation is a heroic journey through elements, the dissolution of self, the apparent destruction of form, and the struggle to be free to fly. It is not an easy task for the butterfly to emerge from the cocoon. It involves moving through a transition zone that is tight as a baby through the birth canal, and in doing this its green blood is pumped and squeezed through its untested wings. Without this process of restriction and transition, of something to drive oneself against, there can be no flight and thus no survival for the butterfly. If you were to see a cocoon butterfly struggling, you might feel overwhelmed with compassion and wish to help free the beautiful emerging creature. But if you cut a butterfly free from its cocoon, its wings will never be strong enough to take flight. The blood will not have pumped through the wings, the very thing that must take place for the creature to fly. So you can see that we must all experience the struggle at some point, or we will not be strong enough to fly. You have been through a time of great challenge and difficulty. You feel new, vulnerable and inexperienced. You thought you might not survive to see this day, but now it is here and you're drying your newfound wings in the gentle sunlight. Lovely stuff. So Aquarius, the main cards that came through are the Three of Wands and the Two of Cups. So I would say that if you're a single Aquarian, there's a very high chance that you could meet someone this week. It may be something from your past, but that's only based on the music that came through. There's nothing, you know, I don't have a Six of Cups or anything like that here, but it could be someone brand new. The Three of Wands is normally, you know, waiting for your ships to come in the Rider-Waite. In this deck, it's more about a bit of an upgrade and acknowledgement. It's also the initial completion, where there's a time of, you know, reward really. It's not massive, and it's certainly just one stage in the journey, but it's a really important step in the process. And in this Two of Cups, this is the initial meeting of Eros and Psyche, where Eros is sent to kill her because his mother, Aphrodite, is not happy about how beautiful she is. She's quite jealous of her. So off he goes with his Cupid's arrow to kill her. But on seeing her, he pricks himself. Some say deliberately, some say not. And falls in love with her and chooses to save her from the rock that she's chained to. So yeah, really exciting for my single Aquarians. Sorry, just got a text from my son who's probably like 8 feet away to ask me when his dinner is ready. Unbelievable. And yeah, so I've clarified it for my female Aquarians. You could have a King of Cups coming towards you this week. This is Orpheus. Quite an emotional King of Cups. This is someone who's not had a lot of love, a lot of luck in the love front. I actually just covered him off recently, so I won't bore you if you're one of my regulars. But yes, Pisces, Cancer, or it escapes me, Scorpio, who is a bit of a storyteller, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols, so maybe a very expressive person. In their shadow attribute, there could be someone who's making up tales that harm others, but I'm not seeing any shadow elements here to be concerned about. Perseverance is an odd one. I think it may be if you're a single Aquarian, you've been waiting a very long time for Mr. Right to come in here. And she does have her butterfly wings on here, you'll notice. It's actually a cloak, but it always looks like a butterfly to me. and she's just about to give up. She's been waiting a ridiculous amount of time for her big break, for what she wants to come her way. And this is saying you have to hang on in there, because she's just about to give up when the magic was about to happen. Coming back to I am reborn and the butterfly ferrets here. So Aquarius, a very different reading for whomever I'm connecting with here. Excuse the cat who's ripping up my chair. But it looks like a very, very good week indeed. So for my male Aquarians, again, it's looking rather lovely. We have got the Six of Pentacles, one of my favourite cards in this deck. This is when the king takes Daedalus out of his bankruptcy. Basically, he's lost everything in the Five of Pentacles, including himself, his way of life, his way in life, his money, and he's now being put back on his feet, his restoration. So it does signify some sort of kindness or charity. It's not usually earned income. It can be a win of some sort, but it's more about kindness and benevolence, that something is coming your way this week that you've maybe been waiting for. It could be on the love front with the Two of Cups here, but it could just be a partnership. It doesn't need to be, you know, a romantic relationship, but it does come with expansion, which is an excellent card, and destiny, which is another two. So gosh, Aquarians, super week. Now, Destiny is my lovely little couple who have been through many lifetimes together. They're my soulmates and they have never got it right in any lifetime. And this is them up asking for another chance at it. Owls, black and white, their names are. You can see him. I almost feel that she's telling him just to keep his gob shut because he's going to mess up and say the wrong thing here. But yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant reading, whether you are male or female Aquarian, for the coming week. So for Libra, you have the Hermit. This is Cronus. So this is a very introspective week indeed, from what I can tell. Possibly awaiting to be reborn, maybe nearer the end of the week. That is something that's going to be coming in for you. But Cronus is, actually I'll come on to it for my male Libras, because it's probably more prevalent. But he's basically Father Time. He's all about cycles of time, and he's I'll just tell you now from what I can remember. He actually he kills his own father, Cronus. He is humbled, and that's why he has to withdraw, because and it's not because he killed his father. He killed his father for whatever reason I won't go into. But he is then he does receive a prophecy that his own children or child will, you know, usurp him. So as his children are born, he actually eats them, he ingests them, because he doesn't, you know, want to lose his, you know, sovereign. You know, it's a golden era. Everything's perfect at this point in Cronus's life, and he wants to avoid that happening. So this is what he does. But I'll come on to Zeus. It's actually Zeus is one of his children who has come through. So for my male Libras, it could be a sort of father-son dynamic going on here, is what I'm coming on to. But in general, it is a time of aloneness. It's a time of isolation. It's a time of deep thinking. It's when we have to, you know, spend time becoming aware of our own limitations in life. As much as we, you know, we can be like growing old or feeling older, maybe feeling a bit tired physically. And sort of rebelling against it, but at the same time there's an acceptance here that there's nothing we can do. It's just going to take as long as it takes, and that really is the message with Cronus, is just to bide your time, but learn as much as you can whilst in isolation, because this is the enlightenment that we seek here. Does also have a scythe. Yeah, and the crow represents Zeus himself, his own child. But anyway, I'm rambling. Basically, it is going to be a quiet week for you, Libra, I think is what I'm saying. You are going to emerge at the end of the week, possibly feeling entirely different. For my female Libras, I do have Judgment, so 2 major arcana, Libra. This might be quite a big week for you, albeit it might not be something that's evident externally. So judgment is, I think, possibly having some time alone to make a judgment call on something. I think it's more of a sort of deep dive into your own psyche, probably or possibly to work out maybe whether you should forgive someone, maybe whether someone should be offered a second chance. If it's not that, I actually sort of see a little bit of depression here with despondency and my frog princess. So as I say, you may be feeling low and a bit isolated this week, Libran females, and it is just a time to take that time out, because that's what the frog princess does. She dives deep. She's quite comfortable, you know, discovering herself, so to speak, in the hermit mode, and possibly by the end of the week, or maybe a little bit longer, because they are major arcana. There might be something that you discover here which will enable you to feel reborn. So a very introspective, deep week for Libra females. For the males, I have the Emperor, and as I say, this is Cronus's son, so it may be a father-son dynamic here this week for my Libra males. This Emperor, and Zeus himself, has come through as a gambler. And I've got this singer of connection, so and service. I sort of feel that you might be called upon to maybe help your father, maybe help your son. This service card always sort of indicates some sort of caring element to it, because you know that's what it basically depicts. And with the connection card, I mean, it's like, it's just making a connection. It can be karma, balance, empathy. It can be a really lovely connection, but I'm just sort of seeing it's contact, it's a phone call, it's an email, it's a text, and it seems to be either between a father and son, or your own father. For my masculine Geminis, I mean, it can be an uncle, it can be from your boss, with it being the Emperor. He is usually the boss man, so you may be called towards some sort of service. With him coming through as a gambler, that is obviously a slight issue, because it may be someone who's got themselves in a pickle financially, and they may be asking for help, basically. I don't see it's anything to worry about, because this card, the butterfly ferret, is suggesting that whatever hardships are going to go through, the outcome is super, ultimately. So next up is Gemini. Gemini, you have the Chariot card. In its positive sense, especially in the Rider-Waite, this is about success and achievement and travel. In my Mythic Tarot deck, this is Aries. There's a lot more conflict in this Chariot card. It could mean you're traveling. I'm sort of seeing some, you know, real desire to move. I mean, you could just be going on holiday. This may have something to do with your own car. But if it's something, you know, not that, you know, mundane and regular day-to-day life, it is about conflict and struggle and trying to, it requires strength and containment to manage these horses in the same direction, because there are conflicting opinions here with the black and the white horse. It can be that you may be faced with some aggression this week from others, or it may be dealing with your own aggression, your own competitive drive, but ultimately you do need to exercise strength and containment to manage this, because it does have enormous potential to it. And even for masculine and feminine here, the Ace of Pentacles kept coming out at the base of the deck, so I chose not to ignore it. This is a fantastic card. Somebody got this yesterday in one of my earth readings. So this can just mean, you know, a new job, a raise. You might be traveling for work. You might be going on. It does normally mean inheritance. A lump sum of money becomes available to you. So you might, you know, take out a loan for a car, or, you know, you might literally win a car. There is something to do with that, but it's very high powered. It's very dynamic if you can harness it. But if any opportunities come up this week, this is certainly one to be grabbed with two hands, as Poseidon is here, because it is a massive opportunity, Gemini. For my female Geminis, absolutely gorgeous. We've got the Ten of Cups and Impatience. The Ten of Cups is the final marriage of Eros and Psyche. This is it all, really. This is marriage with kids. It's family. reunions, it's total love and support. It's just divine. Oh, cat's not so keen. With impatience, so someone just wants their happiness here. They want their coupledom. They just want everything to be quite lovely. With this combination, my female Geminis, you may need to travel. Maybe your partner's at a distance from you and you're impatient to get back together with them. Maybe they're in the forces and you haven't seen them for a while, or they've been on a course. But there is an element of distance here, and a real impatience to get, together again and have your big fat Ace of Pentacles moment. So it's really quite lovely for female Geminis. For my masculine Geminis, you're coming through as the King of Wands here. Sort of more fire. A Chariot's very fiery as well. This is usually a very bold person taking action, very dynamic. I keep getting this word dynamic. So a real upsurge in energy this week, Gemini. Albeit I do have you with some confusion here. There's something that you're not sure about. With the Sage's wisdom and knowledge, this is very much like the Hermit card coming through for Libra. It's almost like you have maybe seen something that has confused you. Maybe you've had a dream or a vision that doesn't fit with, what you had previously thought. So this is why you're confused. Something that you're confused about. The Sage sees connections and in relationships, and he sees consequences. It can be a bit of an eye for an eye type energy. If someone's pissed you off, you might be feeling angry towards them, aggressive, and wanting to take action and get your own back. But there's something here. There's something you've seen, Gemini, that's confused you. I feel that you may have a change in perspective because of that. You're coming through as the Slave, so you might be, and that's the Emperor. The Slave is surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust, and in its shadow attribute is giving your willpower to an external authority out of a fear of making your own choices. I'm not really seeing a shadow attribute here, Gemini. I am very much focusing on the light. Yeah, I think you've seen something that's given you a change of perspective, and that's confusing you. It may be that you may want to make progress now where you weren't before. There's maybe some sort of clarity you're going to get this week that's going to allow you to make progress. There is a feminine here with my bright mother and the Singer of the Chalice, which is my Ace of Cups. So you might meet someone new with the Ace of Cups. It can be brand new love. It can just be, a new feeling of love in your existing relationship. It is about unconditional love. It's about being open, receptive. And the Bright Mother is a very similar energy. She's birth, marriages, abundance. She does sometimes turn the cold shoulder and is very focused in her own world here. And I did notice at the base of the deck, it's a Death card. There's a natural ending. So there may be an ending with a feminine. It really could go either way, this, I've got to say, Gemini. But there is something in the Sage. I think this Sage is the key. Harnessing your own direction, your own possible aggression with the Chariot. But as the Chariot can be so positive if you're able to, manage it well. But there is something that you have knowledge of that's creating some sort of confusion for you here, Gemini. But ultimately, I'm coming back to the butterfly parrots. I am reborn. Whatever it is, whatever trials it is, everything's going to be way clearer by the end of the week. So an advice card, please, for my air signs for the first week in October, please, Spirit. An advice card for the air signs. Air signs. Can you see them? No. Got my cat literally on my neck. The Lord. So this is the Emperor again. Yeah, so that might come up twice. That's for Libra. Take charge with authority. Yeah. Okay. Lordy Lord. Sometimes you have to take control in order to be honoured. If you feel that your kindness or gifts are being taken for granted, it's time to change that. There is no excuse for bad behaviour, and the ancestors are encouraging you to hold your ground and speak your mind in a fiercely loving way. You have the energy and might to overcome dramas or energies that aren't working for your growth, and it's time to take charge before you find yourself in a situation you don't want to be in. You are being encouraged to be the boss instead of being bossed. This card also brings the energy of ambition and can show you have the potential to move upwards on a professional level, but only if you act with authority and show who you really are. So do not be afraid to take charge or use your voice and be strong. Excellent. I mean, really, they're all pretty good. My Libra females, maybe not so much. Libra in general, there might be an issue with somebody's father here. Aquarius, you look brand new. Masculine Geminis, little bit of confusion up there, but take the advice, harness that, and I think we are all in for a very lovely week. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Please like, please subscribe if you would like a personal. All my information is below. Have a great week. Bye.